right. Good morning, great morning. Hi, hello, welcome to another episode of yet another Star Trek podcast, where the only podcast you're going to find out there that three best friends that you've ever seen talk about old episodes of Star Trek and new episodes too. My name is Majid. I'm joined, as always, by my two cohorts. The first guy here needs more rest and relaxation than Captain Kirk. Hi, Drew.
Hey, I too have shore leave coming up in 4 days, 3 days. Well, time has no meaning anymore, but yeah, like 3 days. I'm on shore leave.
Time is a man-made construct, and you don't have to follow it.
Okay.
Speaking of time being a man-made construct, the only person that can break the space-time continuum regularly, Brad. Hey, buddy.
I see what you did there. Well positioned, sir. Good morning. Good day. Good afternoon. How you doing?
Good morrow. Nope, not afternoon. Oh, wait, and we just literally said that time has no meaning.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I get that. I'm gonna do my best to give you guys energy because I know, like right now, Drew, I see nothing behind his eyes. Like there's nothing there.
There's a level of hollowness that's like I'm here, but I'm not really.
There's nothing there.
Oh man, that is so accurate.
It's just darkness.
I had a fairly decent night's rest yesterday, but the prior 2 days combined, 4 hours.
You know what's not healthy? Everything you just described to me.
Yeah. Look, insomnia, when it happens, it happens, and there's not much I can do about it. So if anybody has any suggestions, any of the listeners, please drop me a note. Let me know. I would be grateful because, I've been taking vitamin D, trying to counteract these overnight blues, and I even got one of those like lamps that you put next to the desk that like have like a sunrise and a sunset. I have that next to my bed. It's not terrible.
Have you gone with the blackout shades yet?
I have blackout shades and blackout curtains.
Well, then I got nothing.
I also have two cats. I have two cats that are so loud and obnoxious that even earplugs do not stop them.
I have an idea. You may not like it, but we'll see. Okay. What you can always do is pump some carbon dioxide into your room just a little bit until you fall asleep. I'm sorry, carbon monoxide, not dioxide, carbon monoxide. Like hook up, start your car and like maybe run a hose from your car into your bedroom and then, leave it on for maybe about 10, 20 minutes. Hey,
Majid, how about you try it first and tell us how it goes?
Yeah, there's a lot of questions I have about this plan anyway. Like, for example,
gas money.
Well, yeah, gas is expensive. But also, like, who's going to shut it off once I fall asleep?
Oh, right.
So that's just suicide.
Okay. All right, well, maybe don't do that plan just yet until we figure out the logistics.
Majid, are you trying to talk Drew into committing suicide?
I didn't hear you come up with any ideas, Brett.
I did. And I said, well, I got nothing else.
Okay, I didn't hear you come up with any good ideas, Brett.
So what you're saying is that your idea is a good idea.
Listen, there are no such things as good ideas when we were brainstorming, all right? That's the whole thing about brainstorming.
I don't know if it works that way, but okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, you need some rest and relaxation, Drew. I hope you get it.
Thank you.
You know who else needed some rest and relaxation? The crew of the Enterprise.
Oh, nice segue.
Love you. Thank you. This week, we join the crew of the Enterprise as they explore a newfound planet for their long-awaited shore leave, which is also the title of the episode. Nice, Brad. McCoy and several others survey the planet to confirm if it's a good planet for rest and relaxation. However, this becomes questionable when McCoy meets characters from Alice in Wonderland. After hearing a bizarre report from McCoy about a large rabbit complaining that he was late, Kirk and Yeoman Barrow beam down to the planet. After talking to McCoy and finding an oversized rabbit footprint, Kirk puts a hold on shore leave for the rest of the crew. Things start to get more odd when Sulu finds a gun and begins to fire it.
Yes, because that's what you do. When you find a gun, you start firing it.
So basically, this is again another opportunity for reference. Sulu's like, anyway, so I started blasting. See, Brad doesn't get that reference.
See, for me, like, he was making that face as he was shooting the gun, and all I could think of is Roberto with his knife going, ha ha, ha ha, ha ha.
All I was thinking was Frank from It's Always Sunny. Just anyway, I started blasting.
Yeah, no, I mean, that one's great too. I'm glad you went there. We got our bases covered between the two shows. So
right. Brad is just like, I hate you both. I don't get these references. But Brad, I don't know what references you would get.
Everything else.
Time travel.
That's untrue. Oh, time travel. Right. Sure. So the away team continue to see more and more strange events. A man named Finnegan fights Kirk. Don Juan goes after Yeoman Barrows. And eventually a mysterious woman named Ruth comes to Kirk. McCoy attempts to charm the lovely Barrows. As they walk together, they find princess clothing. He encourages her to wear the clothing. Nothing creepy here, by the way. He's like, it's cool. I'm a doctor. You can just go ahead and get undressed.
But I'm not going to look.
But I'm not going to look. Wink, wink, wink.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more.
Let me get my camera out. Two other crewmen are stuck in a very dangerous situation where a tiger stalks them. At some point, Sulu fights a samurai. A Japanese Zero fighter. I'm sorry. This is the funniest part of the episode for me because this is these random occurrences. A Japanese Zero fighter aircraft chases after some crew members who are hiding from the tiger. One is apparently gunned down. McCoy is stabbed in the chest by a knight and killed. This Finnegan guy keeps showing up and taunts Kirk in a scene that echoes what you'd expect in a live-action Lucky Charms commercial. Kirk chases Finnegan looking for his secrets. Finnegan's like, do I know? Does it look like I know what's going on? In truth, he just really, he's one of those guys that he gets drunk and wants to fight everyone. Either way, the two get into like a 4-minute fight sequence, and it solves nothing. It solves nothing.
I counted that. I was like, how long is this going on for?
It was actually 4 minutes long.
It's about like 4 minutes.
Oh my god!
By the way, I think a lot of this was improvised at the end because some of it was well choreographed, and then all of a sudden Kirk's shirt is ripped. I'm not sure if you guys caught that. There was no reason for his shirt to be ripped.
I want to know if they just reused the same ripped shirt every time they ripped a shirt.
I do think that they reused the same location.
They do.
100%
totally
that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I remember like some of the memes you would see from the upcoming episode Arena, where Kirk fights a Gorn. I think that's the same location.
It is, yeah.
Which is apparently California desert.
Yeah, it's a famous shooting location. It's called Vasquez Rocks. It's one of those spots.
I bet he does.
It's one of those places that once you're aware of its existence, you see it in everything.
Just like Toronto doubling for New York?
What?
Or Vancouver doubling for New York. You didn't know that?
Yeah, no.
A lot of the shows that...
I understand what you're saying.
Kind of like that. I mean, it's a little more obvious because it's the same rock formations.
Yeah. I mean, Vasquez Rocks has some very distinct rock formations, and it's like, how you buy a new car and then all of a sudden you see that same model of car everywhere, and you never noticed it before. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, just like when you meet a guy named Brad and then you see this guy named Brad all over the place.
Oh, precisely. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's a reference Brad got. Time travel. Eventually, some guy shows up and explains that the whole planet is some type of fantasy island that makes everyone's wishes come through. Turns out McCoy is fine, unharmed. Comes out of nowhere. He's like, surprise! I'm alive. I'm not gonna say it because it's a meme. If I say it, Drew, can you just like bleep me out?
Okay.
Depends on how good it is.
He's like, surprise, motherfucker! All right, that's good. I feel better now.
Yeah.
Because I posted that meme or that GIF for you guys last night. I gave you live reactions as I watched the episode, and that was one of them. However, there was no mention of the other lady that was killed, but I'm sure she's fine. Was she wearing a red shirt? The other one that was killed?
No, I think it was yellow.
Oh, well, she's probably fine. Probably fine. Kirk makes a decision to let the crew enjoy the planet, and everyone had a good time. To sum up this episode, Kirk wishes Spock would just give him a back rub. Kirk goes to Pound Town on Finnegan. And in an episode that answers the question, if sci-fi writers did acid, what would they write about?
I'm pretty sure it would be this episode.
It would be this episode.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I was laughing so hard at this episode. And even reading the synopsis back, when Brad's like, yeah, Kirk just wishes Spock would give him a back rub. How long did I laugh? I think I laughed for a good 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, we missed out on some deep laughing.
This is why I can't read the synopsis that Brad writes until we're recording. It's just a genuine reaction at that point.
Man.
But gentlemen, what do you guys think of the episode?
What happened?
Where do you even begin?
Well, we can begin. How about we begin with the parallels to Fantasy Island?
So I've never seen an episode of Fantasy Island, so my entire scope of knowledge of it is the fact that it has Khan in it, and
who we're going to meet in a few episodes.
We are, and the guy that yells the plane.
Mini-Me?
No, but he is.
I know what you're talking about.
He is a shorter fella. So what is like the gist of Fantasy Island? It's just like it's just magical.
People come and their wildest fantasies come true.
Two guys wear a suit on the pier and say, "Welcome to Fantasy Island."
Right. So is it basically like what happened in this episode, or like is there like an army of people that make those dreams come true for them in reality?
It's kind of like you never saw it, and yet you're talking about it. Okay, that's
because Fantasy Island is one of those things that just it's hard coded in the lexicon of pop culture.
So
the reference of it, I think, is hard coded in, and like I'm familiar with it, but only a cursory. So I don't know how much of it is actually a fantasy. Like I don't know if it's like conjured up by, a magician, or like how that works.
It's kind of like the magician aspect of things, but it's not as. It's like a natural thing in the sense of like, oh, nobody questions it. It's fine. It's supposed to happen that way.
Understood. Okay.
Just like nobody questioned how the Enterprise went back in time 3 days.
Precisely.
You accept it.
I never accepted it. You guys made me accept it.
True.
Sorry.
No, it's
that's true. Very true.
There were so many different things about this episode. When the plane was chasing Kirk and Spock, I fully expected a shot-for-shot reference from North by Northwest, where it was the Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Yeah.
And Drew, I think you probably know this because you're into film.
Don't know it.
I know it. Don't worry.
It's two characters in a cornfield or a field, and they're running from a plane.
It's a one character.
Is one character running from a plane?
Yes.
And the plane is chasing them down.
Yes, it's a crop dusting plane. Yeah.
It might be one of those things that like I've seen, but I'm not familiar with the
You've
context.
totally seen like references.
Oh,
to
you've
it.
totally seen it because
Okay.
Alfred Hitchcock did that, and people have imitated it.
Understood. Okay.
So you've seen it. It's just a matter of
Majid, have you seen?
When did you
seen
see
the
it?
movie?
North by Northwest. No, I just know the reference. It's just again, it's one of those things
Again,
that's just
Another thing
it's
he's
hard.
never
Again,
seen.
it's hard coded into the lexicon of modern movie.
He went to Disney World and that Magic movie ride. He went on that and saw the screen clip from that, and then he's like, "All right, I know the movie now."
So, I love that you think that I have enough money to go to Disneyland. I'm broke. We don't get sponsored by this yet. I wish. Under
I
Armour
mean,
would sponsor us,
technically,
by
the
way.
ride is closed now, so it would have had to have been like 10 years ago, before you had a kid.
You know, 10. My daughter's 11, bro.
You know, what? I'll stand by my word. 10 years ago.
I think Brad's looking for demerit.
I'm not gonna give him what he's looking for.
Look at him. Look at him. He wants a demerit.
He's all clean shaven today. I love it. This episode again, just so weird, so lighthearted, right?
I want to start with one thing, is that I was very disappointed that I didn't see more Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah, that was they went through a lot of trouble to make that bunny suit to use it for like 2 minutes.
Yep.
Is it weird that I thought that the bunny was going to use the gun?
No, I did too. I thought the bunny was going to murder them all.
Missed opportunity.
That is a horror movie I would want to watch.
Horror movie. That wouldn't be a horror movie.
You see that they have a Winnie the Pooh horror movie?
I did.
What?
Yeah, the
It looks
character of
absurd.
Winnie the
Is it produced by Disney?
No, Winnie the Pooh is public domain now.
Oh my God, just like Brad.
So the first movie that's been announced is like a legit horror movie.
It looks absurd.
It's yeah.
I hope there's a post-credit scene where Mickey Mouse shows up and, I'm gonna murder everybody.
I don't think Mickey's gotten public domain yet.
No.
I thought he was. I thought Disney was gonna lose rights to
No, they
Mickey.
keep like extending that crap, I guess. I think it's like 125 years now at this point.
Whatever. We can always put you at the end of the movie, Brad.
Yeah, I know. I think I found this episode like overall very humorous, lighthearted, despite certain characters getting killed.
Yeah. I thought when Spock beamed down, by the way, I thought he was fake. I thought there was going to be a big twist that the Spock character was somebody that they made up.
That is a fantasy Spock.
Yeah. Yeah. Up until the end, I'm like, that's not real Spock. Shoot him. That's not a real Spock.
So you don't like Spock? You want him to die?
I thought that was a fake Spock, and the only way to test that theory was for them to use that gun.
Interesting.
I mean, how else do you do it? By the way, that was an unfair fight with the Javelin Knight getting shot. That was unfair.
Yeah, but
You're supposed to.
What'd you think of the Javelin's Knight reveal being like some sort of puppet type thing?
A mannequin?
Mannequin, whatever.
that was weird.
I know.
It would have been better for me if that was just empty. Like it was an empty suit of armor.
Yeah.
I was kind of agreeing with that. I was hoping for more emptiness.
Well, you can. I was hoping for more emptiness. There are plenty of episodes in this series that can offer you more emptiness. Just
I can always hope.
Brad, are you depressed?
If you want emptiness, just look in Drew's eyes.
Yeah.
I feel so bad about that comment.
That was a real bad.
I feel so bad about it.
That's a jab.
I feel so bad. I'm sorry, Drew. Cut that if you want.
it's accurate. It's so accurate.
Oh my God. So this 4-minute fight scene with Finnegan and Kirk was it was pretty good. It was pretty well choreographed, by the way. You know, those hits that Finnegan were taking. It just, you know what it reminded me of? It was like the actor showed up to set one day and just started beating the crap out of Kirk, out of William Shatner.
Everybody line up and take a swing.
and they just kept filming. They didn't stop filming.
Oh man, that would be funny. Yeah, I mean, like the fight was fine. You know, I don't really have a ton to say about this episode, honestly.
The episode was a palate cleanser.
Yeah. Okay, I'll give you that. Like, and I think coming off of, Balance of Terror, it probably wasn't a terrible idea to have something that was a little bit more lighthearted, but they just like dragged this out for about 20 minutes longer than it needed to.
Yeah. It's funny. I was watching this, and I was thinking this episode is enjoyable, but it could have ended a half an hour earlier.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%.
It's funny. I'm gonna start bashing this episode now, but I really enjoyed it. But there was really no plot context where it was just, hey, we're trying to find a place to do shore leave.
Yeah.
And all this random crazy crap is happening.
So
I think they could have really leaned into that too. Not the crazy stuff, but trying to find a place to go for shore leave and Kirk's struggles and everything. And I know that wasn't the type of episode they were trying to tell, but I felt like there was a missed opportunity with some of that, this could have been something that was unique.
They did do some of those things in the beginning where it was Spock comes to Kirk and is like, oh, we have a crew member who is showing irritation, all this other stuff, yada yada yada. And he's like, oh, hey. Kirk's like, yeah, that man needs to go to shore leave. And he's like, who is he? Oh, his name's James Kirk.
Yeah, that was laugh out loud hilarious.
That was cheesy.
I enjoyed that though.
Yeah,
like to me, it was. I was hoping that would be more the episode of being like, hey, Kirk, you really need to take shore leave, and then. What it would have been nice is if he did take shore leave and then went on some sort of like adventure rather than having so random. Because it would have been like the Elysian Kingdom kind of thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
If they had done something like that where it was just a full on journey, that would have made a lot more sense. Even though there's so much randomness, they could at least still have some sort of plot line, some path.
It's kind of like they took all the non sequiturs out of an episode of Family Guy and just put them in 1 hour long episode of Star Trek.
Oh my God, yeah, the cutaways?
That's accurate.
Yeah.
The so in a writer's room, if this follow the tradition of a traditional writer's room, then there's a board, an idea board, and writers will just eventually or once in a while shoot out something ridiculous. And they'll put it on a Post-it note, it'll go on the wall, and they'll try to, at some point, work these ridiculous ideas into an episode. Now, it's very well possible that they just looked at the board and said, let's just take all this crazy crap and put it into an episode. They had all these stupid ideas, and they said, we're just going to put it into an episode. We're going to wrap it in this shore leave thing.
Yeah, I think... each of these individual elements in themselves, I think, could have been developed into some pretty interesting stories. And if they had pared it down to maybe 2-3 people tops, I think we could have had something, a little bit more substantial. Like the Alice in Wonderland thing. Like, I was pretty interested in that, and we never saw it again. And that was a little disappointing. Or Sulu finding the gun. Well, where'd the gun come from? Who did it belong to?
I remember the gun reveal where it was like a rock just randomly starts opening up.
Yeah.
It's like,
how did that happen? Did Sulu just start opening up rocks? Did he just go up to every single rock? He's like, anything underneath there?
No, the rock, this one? The rock opened itself up. Not Dwayne Johnson, the actual the boulder. It latched up.
Yeah, it latched up.
Okay, so like a clam.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But where was Kirk keeping that gun
in his pants.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those things that, don't ask, don't tell, I guess.
So this episode aired in 1966, December 29th, 1966. The very first episode of Fantasy Island was released in 1977.
Interesting.
January 14th, 1977 on ABC. So this episode predates Fantasy Island.
So what you're saying is this inspired Fantasy Island?
You heard it here first, folks. Yes, definitely did.
Without question.
Let's go ahead and change the Wikipedia page to that right now.
On it. I got this.
Right, because I think Star Trek is owned by CBS, right? So it would have aired on CBS. Okay.
Well, no, the original series was owned by NBC at the time. So it's a whole thing. There's like, I don't know the specifics of how it came under the ownership of CBS and Paramount, but it originally aired on NBC.
Apparently, there's a remake of the series, which is it's a sequel
they also
series.
made a movie.
A horror prequel film adaptation.
Of what?
Fantasy Island.
Fantasy Island.
Oh.
Yeah, that was stupid.
No, it has Michael Pena in it. Michael Pena doesn't make bad movies.
I repeat, it was a stupid movie.
Maggie Q, she's great. Lucy Hale, I don't know her. Jeff Wadlow.
Bad movie.
Jeff Wadlow directed it.
We can. I really feel like we're just grasping at straws for time.
No, hang on. No, hang on. No. Jeff Wadlow. Oh, no, he's not a great director.
No,
he's the one that did
definitely
Kick-Ass
grasping.
too. Sorry. I'm not grasping for straws, but I think that if we're going to make the parallels to Fantasy Island, I at least want to see this movie now because it has Michael Pena in it.
Fair. Yeah, but I mean, like, to Brad's point, though, there's really not a lot of substance to this. The episode has a bunch of, like, weird things happening, and then it's magically explained in the last 10 minutes, and everybody's cool with it.
Yep, that full fist fight between Kirk and Finnegan, perfectly normal.
Yeah, and then this elderly man comes out, and he's like, hey, so, this is just a playground. You're not going to die. It's cool. And Kirk's just like, oh, all right.
That makes sense. That
makes perfectly logical sense. We're going to beam our crew down.
Yep.
That was no.
Also, that group laugh at the end when Spock is asking, well, did you guys have fun? Kirk looks at McCoy's like, hey, yeah, we had fun. And they group laugh together.
Yeah.
It was, I expected the freeze frame, when...
Everybody in the bridge jumping up in the air with arms raised. And you got that cheesy 80s music playing. Yeah! That's exactly what it felt like.
You know what? Yeah, that fight scene, though, it went on for 4.5 minutes or 4 minutes.
Killing time, just like we are.
Right. It was killing time, just like we are. Which is fine.
You know who has the best freeze frames in all the TV shows?
No.
I'm
waiting for you to tell me. I didn't.
Yeah. It's Police Squad. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
You've heard of The Naked Gun, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So The Naked Gun is a movie based around the TV show called Police Squad.
Oh, okay. So does the TV show have Leslie Nielsen in it too?
Yeah. Leslie Nielsen, like a bunch of the, I think there's a bunch of the other original characters, minus OJ Simpson. But in the end of their freeze frames, it wasn't them actually freezing. They just kept rolling the film and nobody moved while they're in the middle of doing things. And so you see like a guy pouring a cup of coffee and the coffee just keeps pouring, and it starts overflowing. So these are making fun of freeze frames.
I like it.
I love that Brad just made a reference that neither Drew or I just got.
The listeners will get it. Trust me. That one listener will get it and will be like, "Oh man, Brad is right."
Frank's doesn't
and I
count.
love it.
Frank's does not count.
I'm pretty sure Frank's hasn't seen it.
Frank's has seen GIFs on Reddit, and I'm certain it's been a GIF on Reddit.
Yeah.
But
actually, let's ask Frank's when we get a moment. We can find out if he's seen it.
Maybe. It'll be like a month before this airs, so we have time.
Yeah.
So let's
just randomly ask him today. Be like, "Hey, have you seen this?
This is gonna pay off in a few weeks."
Right.
Yeah.
Like, just you wait. Let's hop into the reviews, guys.
Yeah, let's get to it. I got nothing on this one.
Drew, shortest episode ever.
It really is. I'm looking at the time here, and it's this is going to be an easy edit. But
you want to play a drinking game to kill time?
No.
Is it because it's 8 in the morning?
Well, I mean,
probably
for me, like I have to go to bed when we're done. So if anybody is okay to drink at this hour and have it be socially acceptable, it's probably me.
Oh, I've done that. I worked the overnight shift, and I would get out at like 7:30. I would get home for like, well, actually, I would get out. Yeah, 7:30. I would get home for like 9:30 or 9, and I would be like, I'm cracking a cold one.
If there's one good thing about working these hours is that my drinking has reduced significantly, because it just doesn't feel right opening a beer at this hour to me, especially considering like I'm already in bed by 8 o'clock. So
a.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So boy, what an episode. This thing is nonsense. This is absolute nonsense. Fun. I liked the idea of it. I liked that they were trying to be creative, but there wasn't enough behind it. It was just a series of ridiculous events in a nonsense land with no payoff. I struggled to pay attention to this episode while it was on. I was multitasking and doing like 3 other things at the same time, and they were infinitely more engaging than anything that happened on the screen during the 60 minutes that I watched this. Not the worst thing I've ever seen, but far from the best, and a steep drop from Balance of Terror. I'm giving this a 4.
Wow.
A 4?
That's a low. It's a low score there, man.
Oof, Brad. All right, it's up to you, buddy. Let's see if you can bring the average up.
So I understand where Drew's coming from. As our loyal listeners can hear from our frustrating voices, nothing really happened in this episode.
Yeah.
It's one of those fluff episodes where things happen, but nothing actually matters because it's a full-on reset at the end of the episode. However, with that said, overall, I did enjoy the episode. It was very lighthearted, super silly. I'm actually at a 7 with this one.
Wow.
Okay, I love it. All right, great. So Brad brought the average up. I'm gonna go ahead and give this thing an 8.
Ooh.
Actually, no, I'm joking. I give it a 7 as well. This episode gives you. It makes you experience acid without doing acid.
I'm gonna use that on our.
It's like if you ever wanted to experience what it is, be on acid, just watch the episode. I loved it. This is the second one my wife has sat down and watched with me.
Oh God, this is a bad one to hook her on the show.
No, well, she sat down. She watched Balance of Terror with me last week. Not last week. What am I talking about? Last week. It was 2 days ago, right?
2 days ago.
2 days ago.
Yeah.
She sat down and watched Balance of Terror with me. She watched all of Strange New Worlds. by the way.
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure if she loves the show or Pike's hair.
Pike's Peak.
Zaddy Pike's Peak. But no, yeah, she watches these. I'm not sure how long we can keep this trend up, but yeah, she watched it with me, and I give it a 7. I listen, when I can have some LOL moments, and then directly pull out GIFs, the surprise mother GIF. What else was there that I kind of pulled out and the Dr. Evil group laugh at the end, where Kirk is looking at McCoy like, yeah, we had fun, didn't we, McCoy?
Yeah.
I don't know, were these things holograms or mannequins? Because I'm pretty sure they all had sexual intercourse with these mannequins on the island.
I don't want to go into this conversation.
All right, whatever.
I actually, as silly as it was, I actually enjoyed that 4-minute fight sequence with Finnegan.
That was the best part.
Which is so freaking hilarious.
What was Finnegan calling him? Jimmy Boy?
Yeah, I think that was it.
Yeah. There's also a good chance we can see Finnegan in Strange New Worlds. Fingers crossed. If we're going to meet Kirk.
I hope not.
I'd rather see Mud again.
I want to see Mud.
Finnegan is the epitome of an Irish last name, so he has to act Irish, right? Like
that's pretty accurate.
Like it's like, hey, his name is Finnegan, so he has to be stereotypical Irishman, meaning he talks with an accent, likes to drink, and likes to fight, and he walks around with his fists up.
So he's Shrek.
Sure.
I broke me back. Oi, me Lucky Charms. That was offensive. Was that offensive, comparing it to Lucky Charms?
I mean, Shrek is pretty offensive.
Shrek is offensive?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, good. I don't want to get canceled. I'm too young to get canceled. All right, well, gentlemen, is any final thoughts on the episode?
No.
Drew, you didn't move there for a second. I thought my connection froze.
My brain froze.
That's what acid does to you. All right.
I think I'm good.
All right. So this is it. This is what we got for today. I tried to get blood from a stone and making this episode longer, but clearly I can't do that. Next week, we'll be watching the Galileo 7, which is the 29th episode overall that we've recorded or will be recording. So I'm looking forward to seeing you all again. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening in, and we'll catch you next time.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to yet another Star Trek podcast. We're a part of the Retro Sessions Network. This episode was recorded on August 5, 2022, and is hosted by Brad, Drew, and Majid. Brad took care of the synopsis for this episode. Majid handled the artwork, and Drew edited it. And I am a text-to-speech program. Hello. Special thanks to William Grobel, our music for our music, Warp Speed, and to the Stars. Quad. You can find him on SoundCloud. Also, special thanks to George Radu for the additional artwork. He made us look like Lower Decks characters. Hit him up on Fiverr if you'd like to hire him. We'll drop a link for both in the show notes. We'd love to hear from you. Hit us up on TikTok, Instagram, or Twitter, at yetanotherstpod. Or, shoot us an email, yetanotherstpod@gmail.com. We've also got a Discord room, so come chat with us and say hello. Did you have a nice shore leave? Let us know with a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Plus, it helps support the show. Thanks again. We'll see you next week.